Yeah. Cut that part out. Cut that part out. They call that evidence. You know what?
Yeah, we want that.
They call that evidence. No, don't do that.
That's what's up.
Held against you in the court of law.
I just want to know why I didn't get the memo to wear all blue today. Nobody wants to.
Great minds, great minds.
Yeah, whew, great mind,
Yeah,
great.
mind,
But she's
thank you.
greatness too. So you're wearing blue jeans, so it matches with the blue sequence.
You know what? I appreciate you reeling me in.
Well, we both did the blue
You
and
know,
black.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always
And
gotta
they
look
did
out
the
for my
blues.
girl out. You know, the fountains.
Balance. I like it.
Balance.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're balanced.
Y'all all are members of the same church.
Yeah.
We are.
Yes, we are.
All
Yes, we
working
are.
in. And tell us about yourself. What's your name?
Put me on the spot. I'm Sean.
Hey, Sean.
I'm a black man in America.
Oh, well, all right.
Black man in America.
Black man, father. I work hard. Work hard. Father hard, and I'm an agent of change. That's what I like to say. So,
Awesome.
agent of change.
Now you're a father of a child, a girl,
Three.
a dog.
Three
Three?
Three human
wow.
children.
Because you know some people claim they dogs
Yeah.
is their baby.
Look, I'm not
Wanna make
gonna.
sure.
I can't
No,
judge
but
nobody
it's
else's
my
journey.
child.
See,
No,
see,
no.
I can't judge nobody else's journey.
Yeah.
Three human children,
Awesome.
2 boys and a girl. So
Aw.
yeah. Never a dull moment.
Girl.
Yeah.
Who's the youngest?
The girl, and she runs the whole
She runs
show.
the house. That's
Runs it.
Five, 5 years old, and she's the boss. She's the boss.
The youngest ones we usually are.
Oh, you were youngest.
Yeah, I'm the baby.
I have issues with.
Oh, that's great.
You have issues?
Yeah, we're not gonna get into my traumas though. We're not-
Were you the baby?
no, I was the oldest.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. I'm the baby as well. The young.
Come on,
All three of
baby.
y'all.
Yes. Baby.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and head out if y'all.
I know, you stuck with us
No,
now.
you say that. You gotta
Nah,
say.
we good. We good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just two. I have an older brother. We're 5 years apart. But I heard you say you're the youngest as well. The youngest of how many siblings?
I'm the youngest of 4. No, youngest of 5. I'm sorry. My dad had a daughter from a previous marriage, so we never say step or half in our family.
Yes.
Good,
So my
good.
older
I like
sister
that.
passed in 2019, so I still have my other sister, Gina. She's mayor pro tem in Fort Worth.
All right.
And
All right.
then, but she's over North Texas Lead. She's like the director. And then she used to be on television news, like news anchor lady and all that kind of stuff. And then I have 2 brothers, Roy, and then Waylon, and myself. I'm the baby and everything like that. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool being a baby, yeah.
So because we don't say steps or halves either, I have 11 brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
And you the baby of 11.
Yes.
Yes.
I was the last one from my mom, last one from my dad. My dad had 8 kids that we know of, you know, and my mom had 5. So I was the baby. And I came really late. Like my older sister is 21 years older than I am.
Oh, so you the baby.
Yeah.
Me too. Like my oldest sister, well, I ain't gonna tell you about the one that passed away because she's like, yeah, she's way older than me. But the older one that's living, she's like 18 years older than me. So when she graduated from high school, I was born and her friends were like, oh, girl, your mom, your parents, you know, they were messing with her.
Your mom
Cause
Still getting it
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Still getting it on. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Hey, girl. Well, my dad was a pastor, so you know that made it even worse. You know, the
Mine
church
too.
and stuff.
Mine
6.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, PK. Come on, preacher's kid.
Well,
Oh, yeah, y'all something else. Y'all
Hold on
something
now.
else.
Hold
Y'all
on.
something else.
How we something else?
Y'all are a special breed of people.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, because we have favor with the Lord. We're
Favor.
closer. Yeah.
got-
Yeah.
I don't know about closer. Y'all run a little further, and then y'all come back.
Right.
We do.
There you go.
We do.
That's all.
Little prodigal son, prodigal daughter. That's all.
Yeah, we come back to the fold. But we know all the church business, though.
Yeah, y'all do.
All of it.
Yeah, we
All
know
of
when
it.
the deacon crying, when he praying, we know why Sister
why he
Sally
crying.
shouting. We know why.
Right.
We know why
Why he
Sister
crying.
such shouting real hard. And oh, yeah, we know, yeah.
And y'all had to go to the prayer service at somebody's house for some extra.
I just know we used to get to church like crazy early before everybody else, and then be there until everybody left. So we were there all day. And now that I have kids, I don't see how they did that, because I can't do it. Like, I got one service, and then we going home. Like, I can't. They would stay for the meal, stay for after service, service after service, and then
Then you come
this
back for
meeting, and then
communion.
come back.
Come
for something,
back.
right.
It
That's
wasn't
when
in the
they had-
service. That's when you had to come back at about 3, 4 p.m. for the
I
communion.
can't do it.
Y'all lucky for 3. We had to come back at 7. So we had Sunday school, we had morning worship, and then we always had a 3 o'clock service. And then we had to come back for BTU.
Yeah.
Then we had evening service.
Yeah,
Wow.
all day.
All day. Then get up to go to school on Monday. Yeah.
Well, praise the Lord. He didn't
Yes.
catch
Thank
me.
God for that. Thank God. Yes.
That was interesting. I was curious about, with you all being PK and with us being the babies and talking about church. So in growing up in church, I'm sure, were your parents, obviously PK being active, but were your parents active in church as well as far as serving? Because we 3, as you mentioned, we go to the same church, but we all serve and volunteer in our church as well. And so I'm always curious about the parents and, did they bring you to church? Is that how it kind of got into you? Because for me, it did. My mom was in the choir and we were always at church. And just like you were talking about, I remember being there all the time like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Like when I grow up, I will never be doing this again. I want my one service and done. But
And
God
here
said
you are.
something
Now
different.
look at you.
But God said something different, right? So I'm just curious about you guys' journey in that as well.
Well, my mom passed away when I was 9, but she was Kojic. No, she was Church of Christ.
Yeah.
She was
they didn't have
church, no instrumental.
No instruments.
Nope.
And so I don't remember a lot of that. And my dad, my mom and my dad weren't together by the time she passed away. So my dad, oh no, he was a mortician. He worked at the post office at nights. Like he didn't go to church. So I got excited about church because I'd be going with other people. Like I go spend the night at my friend's house. And they'd be like, did you bring something for church? But I'm going. Like, where we going?
ready.
So for me, I feel like it was good that for me coming to Christ, it was very natural, very organic. It wasn't like, like if you grow up in the church, since you've been 2 years old, you've been having to say, okay, you're going to have to give your life to Christ, or you're going to have to, go get baptized. I didn't become a Christian until I was 15 years old at a Christian camp called Young Life. I love Young Life. Shout out to Christy, my Young Life leader. But and then I didn't get baptized until I was 21 years old.
Wow.
And so for me, it was more organic. Like it was a true relationship, not like the
right.
forced relationship that they
Yeah.
give a lot of kids when they're younger. So I feel like I was. That's why I said I'm glad he didn't catch me till I was 15.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Well, my father founded a church. He founded Sweet Home Missionary Baptist Church. So
Ooh, Sweet
he
Home
founded in
Missionary
his living room with 9 charter members. So before I came into the world, there's a picture of my mom on the piano playing because my mom is a PK pastor's kid. So it's a picture on the piano playing with me inside of her. She was pregnant, and they were like, any day now, this child's coming. So I was always in church. We would say we have a drug habit. We would drug to church on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Like
church
that.
was just the people, the atmosphere, the environment. And then when I started playing for the church, I was 9 years old. So I've been in music ministry over 40 years.
Wow.
Playing Sunday school BTU. Then one Sunday my mom was sick and I had to play for the whole service. My sister flew in from San Antonio just to be in the choir to sing. And I just remember looking out the hymn book playing Margaret Road numbers because I could read her music. And I had to sit on top 3 hymn books so the choir can see me from the, baby grand piano. So for me, church was like fun because my cousins went there, my father being, founding the founding pastor, our family was there. So it was like a family reunion every week.
Nice.
And we were used to work, we were used to serving, so yeah.
I was kind of similar. My dad didn't found a church, but pastoring my whole life, I became a church musician too.
Come on, what you play?
Keys,
Come on,
all
keys.
things keys, and played, all around the country with different church stuff and events and different churches. As I kind of grew up, I took a different route from an educational standpoint, but I kept the music, right? So even when I was in grad school, I was playing on, churches. So every denomination, every under the sun, I've had experiences with, and it's kind of helped, I guess, frame my vision of church or my experiences with church. And as I've gotten older and have kids myself, that's why I like what you were saying, how you kind of organically came to, and that's kind of what I want for my kids. Like I said,
Yeah.
relationship over tradition, right?
Yes.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff that is ingrained. Like you said, you was drugged. you had a drug habit, right?
Bible study.
Exactly. shoot
Get
me
up
up.
on Sunday morning.
You know, exactly.
Sunday school.
Right.
BTU. Ah!
And so I'm trying to find, we talking about earlier, balance, right? So I'm trying to find that balance with my kids now that I'm a father, where I firmly believe this stuff is important. Let's find that balance so they can organically form that relationship that'll last them a lifetime. Because them, as a PK, I can tell you, them traditions, you can kind of do away with those if you're not locked in on the relationship side. So
That's true.
yeah.
Because I remember like breaking in. Well, I didn't break in. It was just like a window didn't close all the way. And I would raise it up and I would baptize my friends because I want everybody in the neighborhood to be saved. So I'm like, come on, y'all, let's come on, take me
Yeah.
so far.
Missionary.
And so they would come in the next day. They were like, where's the water trail? Like, because I didn't have the water suit on. I just baptized my friends in the
bathtub?
in the water, in the baptismal pool. And with my, I had my, I didn't have my shoes on, but when I got out, all my clothes were wet. So they were wet too. So you just see all these little puddles going. Like, what is going
Do you have
on?
a picture of that? Somebody needs a picture.
So I hope nobody's watching from Sweet Home. God bless you.
They finally know where all that water came from.
Why the water bill high?
They thought it was a plumbing issue.
Right. Girl, we thought all these years thought it was a leak.
Melanie in there
going on?
baptizing
And they're
folks.
baptizing people.
That's all right.
Listen, I want everybody
Doing
to
the work of the
say-
Lord. That's all right.
Doing the work of the Lord. For the Lord. For the King.
Like
For the
trying to
King.
baptize, some, slipped, some made it through.
That's all right. That's all
Because I
right.
was trying to know I didn't know how to dip them, so I just pulled them down.
Tackling people into the pool. That's right.
You can't do that these days.
They had a method of doing it. I don't know how they do it, but I guess the water, like your body, it floats naturally.
Well, then you got to hold them. Like the person getting dunked, you got to hold the arm.
Oh, Lord, no. I
It's
just
a whole-
pulled them
it's a
down.
whole
Okay,
science
well.
behind
You
it.
didn't go to
Yeah.
baptism school.
No, I did not. I was like, how they do that,
did it.
No,
so-
she was just like, I know this. Don't worry about
They
it.
covered that in
I
the
got
seminary. Don't worry about it.
I
They
got
covered
you.
that.
I got you. Yeah. So find your Jerry curl bag. Put your Jerry curl in your bag. You know how you had to put the cap on to save your Jerry curl and
Oh,
stuff.
because if you get that Jerry curl wet, it's a problem.
Listen,
So
who had a
glowing
Jerry
no
curl?
more.
I did not have.
Nah, I never went that route.
No.
I never went that route.
I had to walk down that road. No.
I wanted to be like my daddy. So yeah, my hair was down here, and the lady cut off all my hair to here. My mama cried. She cried.
I was very tender-headed when I was little, and I didn't want anybody to do my hair. So my hair was just a big old ball of a mess. And so when I started living with my dad, I'd go to my aunt's house, and they would sneak and put perms on my hair because they were like, we can't do anything with it. She don't let nobody comb it. It's just a whole big. And my dad finally figured it out because one day he took me to a beautician. She was like, she has a perm. And he was like, she got a what? I was like, I don't know.
I don't know how that happened.
I just know that I can comb through my hair now. That's all I know.
Yeah, I never did the Jerry curl thing. I had perm since I could remember. And so as an adult, when I decided to go natural, I never realized the true texture of my hair because it had just always been permed.
Right.
And so I've been natural for like 11 years now. And it was a very interesting journey in doing that. I was like, I never knew the texture of my hair. This is like, pretty neat. And so I hadn't planned to like, oh, I'm going to grow it this long and all of that stuff. But just throughout the years, just, learning more about the natural hair journey and meeting different people and conversations. You all know you have like this community like PKs, but in the Loc family, there you see people from all over. Hey, sister, how you? Like, oh, all right, brother. That kind of thing, like a whole nother kind of community thing.
Yeah.
A whole little family of people.
Yeah.
Because you grew up
exactly.
thinking like
A
your
lot of
hair is
things.
like nappy, and it's really not. Because I stopped getting perms in 2005 when this girl once flat ironed my hair, and I'm like, what? I don't need a perm. Like what the? Then I had to learn how to manage it and maintain it because when we sweat, our hair go poop, and so I had to realize it. But I love you.
And there weren't a lot of products either back then because I went natural in 2009, and it was some rough days.
Yeah, I had that blue magic grease, just wet, like wash your hair and conditioner, and then do the blue magic grease, tie it up tight, and then let it, try to,
And
so it wouldn't go up.
I didn't know the texture of my hair either, so I was like, "Oh, we got a little wave. Okay, well, come on, wave.
Yeah,
curl.
got a little Puerto Rico.
And a little Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, a little Puerto Rico.
And then somebody was like, "Oh, I want to go natural." I was like, "You should," and and let me send you to my stylist, and and she pulled me to the side one day, and I was in the salon, and she was like, I need you to quit promising people that their hair gonna come out like yours. I say, I don't promise them they're gonna come out like mine. She's like, you make it sound real easy. And your hair journey is not everybody's hair journey. I was like, oh, I didn't know. I just thought that everybody, once you take the perm off, you get a little better texture, you know,
Yeah,
a little something.
something.
She's like, no, some people don't, and they don't. I was like, oh, well. the
Lesson
more you
learned.
know. I'm sorry.
This conversation is triggering for me because this is a result of a Jerry curl going wrong.
Oh.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was sitting there like,
I'm like,
I'm
tell
joking.
me
more.
I was excited.
Like,
Tell
do
me
tell, do tell.
No, but it came
Story
faster
time.
than I was ready for, though. Because I was still in my 20s, still in grad school, and my wife at the time were dating, and I just got to kind of looking like, wait a minute, I ain't getting thin up here. And I was like, I'm not gonna be that dude holding on to that one little patch.
Yeah.
Right.
Your hairline started way back here, and they got the paint and shoe polish and everything. I said, we're not gonna do that. So I let it go.
You let it go.
You know, first person I went to was my wife, and I said, well, what'd you think? She said,
She been waiting
Had to take it
to
in.
go.
I think I like the hair. I said, well, that ship has sailed. This is
What else can
where
we
we
do
are.
about that?
You know what I'm
This
saying?
is it.
Right, this is me. This is me.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But you know, it was an adjustment. But
Yeah.
So I'm listening to you talking
That's
about the locks, and I heard, obviously I don't know, I've heard it's like really a journey. Like,
It is.
So talk about, I guess, some of the stuff you learned along the way, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
Because I keep hearing about it.
I don't mind at all. And but to touch on what you mentioned before, when you said that, like early with your hair thinning, my hair was like that. I began graying when I was in my mid to late 20s. And so, you know, it was kind of interesting because I'm not putting, you know, my mom's business out there. But when you look at how you come up, you look at your parents like, oh, okay, I have my mom's features and, you know, my dad's smile and all that kind of stuff. But my mom's hair was not gray. And so, you know, I knew she colored it, but I didn't know how long she had been coloring it until I started graying in my 20s. I'm like, so Ma, why you didn't go? She was like, oh, girl, I did. I stayed coloring this up. So for me, I said that to say I was never one to color my hair or anything like that. So I was like, definitely by my early 30s to mid 30s, a lot of my hair was already kind of gray. So I said that to say I've always kind of taken my own path and my own journey that really didn't bother me kind of thing. But regarding my locks, like I had to do research and studies because I do the same stylist I go to that when I was getting a relaxer. And so I was like, hey, I want to go natural. And so she was like, well, you have to determine the size of the locks that you want. You know, do you want them really large? Do you want them smaller? Do you want to do like the palm roll, like the natural locks like this, or do you want to do sister locks? And so you got to do a little research before you just say like, oh, I'm just going to get my hair locked kind of thing. But the journey takes place, one, with understanding the texture of your hair and kind of getting to know that and how your hair responds to things. When I was getting a perm, my hair would shed a whole lot. When I went natural and locked my hair, the shedding ceased. Another part of it is I didn't cut my hair all the way off. It kind of was like maybe up to my shoulders or anything. But then the retwisting, and you have to go through a moment where you wear a nice selection of hats. If you didn't already, you got to get your hat game strong.
Yeah,
You had a time in the wilderness.
Hats and hoops.
Yeah, exactly. Wear some nice little, you know, cute little hat until your hair actually begins locking and twisting and all of that kind of stuff. And then from there, just like at every point, the different length of it. And then you'll see people around and then you automatically connect with them, you know, and like, well, how long have you been growing your hair? And this is what I went through. And so the lock journey comes from different people telling you about their different experiences and why they decided to go natural, how long they went natural, the things that they learned about their hair, and et cetera, like that. So that's kind of like the lock journey. And you take pictures as you're going along so that you can look back. Because to me, like, life itself doesn't seem like a decade has passed by. But with my hair, to be like, yeah, it's been 10 years. People are like, wow, you really planned that for 10 years? Like, honestly, no. Wasn't a plan. I was just like, kept letting it grow, you know?
Yeah.
But the one thing that I will say with it being this long, the days of quickly changing your shirts are over. You have to like pull everything together, solidify it, and then, you know, make sure they're all in agreement when you're changing tops and things like that. If not, a couple of, they have to touch and agree, right? Because if not, then a couple of them will kind of go stray and you're like, oh, kind of thing. So,
They caught it.
yeah, exactly.
So I have a question, Sean. Okay, so you said your wife liked your hair. She kind of wanted you to have hair before you left. So now they have these whole man units that you can get.
Oh yeah.
Like, would you would
I'm
y'all would
laughing-
that even
I'm
be a
laughing 'cause
conversation? Like,
whether it's by like people just being funny and joking, or I have a few people in my life that really think I should, I get sent one of those videos like once a week. Like, hey, this you, bro. You back. I would never, ever do that.
okay.
And to each his own. I don't judge nobody else's journey. But no, I rock the bald head, and I think the Lord has a sense of humor, because He left me with enough on the sides that I gotta keep shaving it. Otherwise, I get like George
Jefferson.
Yeah, George Jefferson. You know, right. I'll be moving on up. I ain't just moving on up. Right. So no, but I couldn't do that. I feel like it's a lot. We live in an age where people are afraid to show their true selves. And I'm not gonna feed into that. So this was the path that He put me on for whatever reason. So I'm gonna walk.
You've
it.
accepted
Yeah, I've accepted
Here
it.
for it.
You went all the way with the man. You not even the spray or nothing. You
No,
went
but
straight
they got all kind of. They got
it's a
stuff.
whole
They got
unit,
powder.
you know,
Yeah, they got the thing.
They got
on.
spray.
You spray and they have a corn, like
Yeah.
it'll edge you up.
so you
and-
can make a perfect line.
Yeah.
And then they have like the glue they put on and then do that. And then they do an
It's-
afro thing where I've
it's
seen them
serious.
like shaving it look
And
like
once,
you have
and then once they get it all
like
on you, then they'll cut it down and make it like a fade, and they give you
and, like,
edge.
fade it into
They're
your
connected to your
hair.
beard.
Yeah.
It's serious.
That's a lot.
So ladies, if y'all single, beware. Just beware. You know,
Wow.
make him take a shower, before. The
You know how they used to say, take women swimming so
Right.
their makeup will come off? You gotta-
Take men
you gotta-
too. Take
now
men
you got to
too.
take men swimming. Hey, let's go for
or
it.
just throw a big bucket of water on them. See what
You know,
happens.
Let me baptize them.
Bring it back.
I'm
Bring it
baptized.
back, bring it back.
I'm
She gonna
baptized.
baptize
You
you.
know what? I feel like you need
Come
to
here.
be blessed.
Come on.
And then when you do it, you kind of rub that hair, see if that line.
That's right.
go
Just
away.
bring him in real close, man. Oh, let me just rub on his head 2 or 3 times to see what he.
I saw one video where the guy left the barbershop and he was like, yeah, I like it. And he started brushing his hair when he got home and all that stuff faded away. It was just like, he was like, I'm like, dude, yeah, you got to go back, bro.
Yeah, just be who you are. Just be who you are. So
Definitely.
that's how I do it. And
I like
some people gonna like it, some people don't. But the people that matter.
Well,
they
you know,
all
I
right
always
with it.
have this conversation because, like, what if the role was reversed? Because I've seen a lot of people who've been married for years, and then their wife decided to cut all their hair off, and then see.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
And so I always
yeah.
ask my friends, I'm like, well, how y'all feel going to the same barbershop? It's like,
I ain't gonna lie. That would, I'm gonna just be real. That would be tough for me. I love a woman's hair. Whatever you decide to do with it is your business. I love the femininity of it. I love, how it accents a woman, and particularly in my wife. And so if I were to come home and she had a fade, whoo. But, I'm at a point now where you look beyond stuff like that. So it's like, at the end of the day, it may not be my preference.
yeah, it's not your preference, but you cool, you okay.
However, right,
Yeah.
it's my baby.
'Cause
What I'm gonna
yeah,
do? Like, what you-
But I
what you
also
gonna do?
think too, like, especially when it comes to like relationships and marriage and things like that, that's something that you really should discuss with your mate. Like I know people who have literally just decided to cut their hair off.
Me too.
And and they're married, and I was like, did you talk to your husband about that? And I'm not saying you can't do it, but and your body is your body. Absolutely, I'm 100% on board with that. But there are certain things that I just feel like should be a discussion. Like I want my husband to be attracted to me, and not that he won't be attracted to who I am, but I want his opinion about whether or not I should cut my hair.
I mean, I think a woman should have, or a man should have autonomy to be, like I said,
Right.
who you want to be, do what you want to do. I don't own my wife.
No.
So if she want to cut her hair, she can do that. She make her own money. She got her own thing going on. So that's her business. Now, I agree with you. Where we come together and kind of have community, we should be able to discuss these
Right.
things. I would take it a privilege that my thoughts were considered. But at the end of the day, she a grown woman.
True.
I can't
True.
control that. But I don't run nobody else's camp neither. So if they feel like, that's a conversation that they need to have, that's fine, But as for
But
me
that's
in
just
my
not
house,
your preference. Yeah, I got you. I got
We're
you.
going to talk about it first.
Yeah, we're going to talk later. Let's get here. Yeah. Okay, let's go. All righty then.
No, I was gonna ask. So I mentioned my kids. Does anybody else have kids? Human children?
No,
I do not.
this
I
the
have
kids that we
nieces and
teach.
nephews that I
Children.
spoil rotten.
Human
That's
or
it.
otherwise. I'm
so-
not even a pet person.
Y'all sleep so well, huh? Y'all just,
It depends.
I ain't
You know,
slept
It
since
depends
20
on the
in
day.
10
I'm a
years.
coach, so I deal with kids, a teacher and a coach. I deal with kids all the time. So,
Well,
I want children.
my hat is off to you as a teacher. 'Cause
Oh, thank you.
I'm educator as well. She's
Okay.
professor.
Well, I work at Texas Southern, but I work in data analysis and
Data-
strategic
okay,
planning.
my bad.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Yeah, when you say
I knew it was something
You
with
were
the school.
yeah, when you say university, people are like, you teach, right? Like, no, we do other things that help the university run. Yeah.
Yeah, on my career journey, I dabbled in the classroom for 4 years, and I will never go back.
What'd you teach?
Really?
So I kind of ran the gamut. I taught math, but I started with elementary, and before I said goodbye for good, I was teaching physics and algebra 2 to high school juniors.
Nice.
And, no, not nice.
Bless you. Bless you, because
Not nice.
I'm elementary and middle school, and I was like, I don't want to go to high school.
Well, see, my thing, I stayed away from middle school. Like little kids, I can, work with them. In the high school, at least for me, they were old enough for me to reason with. Like I can, especially those juniors, so they got that itch, they ready to get out, they ready to graduate. So I tell them like, hey, this is what you need to do. I can kind of reason with them. That middle school, I
They're
couldn't
still
do it.
trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's a lot.
But I would tell people all
Hormones
the
is
time,
happening for the first
yes.
time, and
And you'd be like,
smells are going around.
oh, they stink. They
Oh,
stink.
yeah, no.
They do. They're just
They stink in high school.
They stink in high. But
No,
in
but
middle
the
school,
stink is new in
middle
middle
school
school.
is when they first learn about that smell and they don't know. And you say, I always have this thing, and they know. If I have to go into the locker room, I'm like, hey, what cut y'all need y'all to get? And they all the girls, deodorant. I'm like, please put it on. Don't put the spray on before you put the deodorant on. The deodorant goes first, and then the spray. And but you can't, and I used to teach kindergarten too, but you can't rationalize with a 5-year-old.
No, but you can excuse their lack of rationale
Oh,
because they're 5.
No, I don't know.
I can expect. Well, I can.
I have the same expectation. I'm like, my God.
Like, you know better.
Yeah, because when it hits,
Come on,
you
child.
can't
Mine don't mean-
hide. You like,
My no means no. But the things that come out of like a kindergartner's mouth, like a little girl fell and a little boy laughed. And I'm like, little boy, you can't laugh at that's not funny. And he looked at me and he said, well, you can't tell me what's not funny to me. He had a valid point. I can't tell a 5-year-old what's not funny to him. And I was like, well, how do I handle this? And I told him, well, it's my classroom and I can tell you what's not funny.
There you go.
exactly.
In other words, because I said so.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you hurt her feelings and that's not funny at all.
There you go.
And he was like, okay.
Exactly. I remember one time when, when we were dealing with COVID and they started they opened back to school. And I said, here, you need to wear a mask. You need to wear a mask. So one boy was like, well, my mother said I don't have to wear a mask. So I said, well, you tell your mother to come meet me. But in my classroom, we're going to ask for me in my classroom.
That's right. That's right.
We're wearing a mask. And they were like, okay. And I said, put it on. I said, and when you leave, you can do whatever. But, just trying to be safe when you're talking about kids, talking and making decisions. And I teach high school. So, yes, I wear a dress and I wear tennis shoes because I let them know I'm not afraid of you. And I'm from Stop 6. I'm from Funky Town Stop 6. And I will get with you because the kids, they will try you. And then there's so many, I've taught pre-K to high schools. I was a fine arts director, so I've dealt with all ages. And I remember one time we were getting ready to go on a all-state field trip. A lot of my students they received a Division I in UIL for singing.
Nice. Great.
This young man got on the bus. I said, it slapped me. I mean,
He got on the bus before he got on the bus.
I was like, and I grabbed, before I knew, that's when back in the day, they didn't have cameras. Oh Lord, we're on the camera. Anyway, back in the day, when,
Talked about evidence
when you
already.
could just, gently grab a student.
Allegedly.
Gently grab a student. Allegedly pull them down.
That's
Like,
right.
just make a gesture. Come here. And I'm like, I said, baby, it's too early in the morning. It is 8:30. How are you funky? And then before I knew it just came out my mouth. And he looked, and I said, baby, I always tell y'all, if your water is cut off, go to the locker room and take a shower. Nobody has to know your business. You come up to school early anyway, bring you, change your clothes and all that good stuff. But yeah, hormones, genes, everything. And then they don't know. And a lot of times the parents, like I tell the parents, I need part of y'all's income tax return check.
Because you with them.
Because I'm with them more than you are. They go home, they eat, and they go to bed. We're telling them about the facts of life.
Yeah.
We're telling them what they need to know for school. We're telling them what they need to know how to survive. You can have book sense, but you need to have common sense. And how do you combine the two? How do you, even if your police officer pull you over, DWB, driving while black, or driving while Hispanic. What can you do? Yeah, I know my rights. I'm like, no. They're not gonna. They're not trying to hear it. I don't care if y'all live in a 10-bedroom mansion. They do not care. And so I think now with our youth today, it's just cell phones have taken over. TikTok. I said TikTok gonna mess y'all up because you think this is the reality, and it's really not. So about this social media stuff.
And that is their reality. Like the whole idea of somebody has to like this or look how many likes I got. And this, I mean, these kids are risking getting in trouble at school just to make a TikTok in the school gym. And it's ridiculous. Like I had to take a kid's watch. He broke down crying. Not because I'm gonna have to tell your parents that they have to come up here and get this watch. No, he's mad that he doesn't get to text throughout the day. Now who he's texting, I don't know. They're middle schoolers.
Yeah.
And probably his mom. I don't know because at the school I work at, it's a little bit fancier, I guess. I'll just put it that way. And so parents do text their children during the day on their smart watches, but we have a policy, so it's just one of those things where they're so caught up in it that they don't know anything else. That determines their identity. It determines who they are, how well they're liked. Oh, you don't have a Snapchat? Oh, well, you don't have a cell phone? Oh. And some of these kids, they don't have a cell phone, but majority of them do.
So given the connection to social media devices, like how do you all connect to this generation?
Well, first of all, I'm not accepting any of them to be my friends because they don't even know what I'm doing. And I don't even know.
No. We never. Yeah, you shouldn't.
Now, but there are sometimes now when, sometimes you'll scroll, you'll see some of your, you may see a student or whatever. But as far as that is concerned, in Facebook and all that kind of stuff, no.
No, but even like in the classroom.
In the classroom.
As far as impact, like how do you connect with them if they always?
I turn it off. Well, first of all, I keep them busy because I'm choir teacher, theater teacher. So we're constantly working in practice, rehearsing, warming up. I have them moving nonstop. Every now and then I may have a chance to sit down. But if I see them like recording, because I actually have students that say I have a social media page. I have followers. I need to do videos. I'm like, well, not on my time, or you can pay me. Well, no,
right.
They can't pay
commission.
Allegedly. On my birthday.
We gonna get you
Allegedly get a little stipend.
Yeah, a little stipend.
But
take your 10%.
Get out of here. The blood that gives me strength from day to day. Anyway, so that's how I basically had. I shut it down because I don't want any say. I said, you haven't talked to my attorney, and even if my voice is on your social media, I'm gonna take some money. Yeah.
That is funny. I'm a coach, so when they come to me, we're busy. It's volleyball, basketball, or track. So you have no reason at all to be on your phone. And so what I'll do is I will say, okay, guys, if we win the conference, I'll make a TikTok with y'all. But then and only then it has to be 5 moves or less. I got criteria, and then I got to get it approved by the school. Now, will the school approve it? Probably not, never. But they also didn't get to where they need to get to make it happen either.
So you knew ahead of time.
Yeah, you just know ahead of time, or just But first, you do have to know the little songs that they're singing. You have to know some of the little TikTok dances. And even though you think, why do I have to deal with this? But a lot of times that is how you relate to them. And so, sometimes they'll be like, oh, play this song. And I was like, yeah, I know that song. We can't play that on this speaker. No. So the way they try to get over on you. And I'm like, no, those lyrics aren't appropriate, And, oh, well, they don't cuss. I was like, but what are they talking about?
Yes, what are they describing?
So some of it, to a certain extent, you have to be aware of social media and kind of have some type of presence. Now my school has a rule, we cannot be friends with students or anything, and they also discourage us from being friends with like even the parents, but that's at our own discretion. But people have gotten in trouble over, posts that they've made on social media, and just because they were friends with a parent and the parent showed the teacher or the principal or whatever, and then there's repercussions behind it. So it's like, sometimes like it's not worth it.
Y'all heard about Rachel Dolezal or whatever her name is?
The black white girl?
The black white girl. The
Yeah.
black white. The gray girl. She was great.
She's great. She don't know. She's confused.
Right.
She's confused.
But no, she had an OnlyFans, and I guess her students found it. And then apparently she was teaching. I didn't know that. But yeah, she had an OnlyFans, and I guess some students found it, and they gave her the boot.
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Interesting.
How?
Say how.
What did you have for anyone to see?
No, but when I thought about you said like, students seeing your stuff online.
Yeah, they
it made me
do.
think of that. Yeah.
Like my
So
students all the time, they be like, "Oh, Coach Austin, I found your TikTok." I was like, "Okay,
Say congratulations.
congratulations."
Scavenger hunt.
But then the next question is, "You're not gonna accept my friend request?"
Absolutely.
No,
No,
absolutely.
exactly. One student was like, Miss Rivers, I'm still waiting. I said, you're going to stay waiting.
Right, you got
Because you ain't going
to give them back the little TikTok.
No, you ain't gonna do it. No, they Google your name, or and it's a blessing because some of them they'll tune into Fountain of Praise on our YouTube and Facebook. I said, well,
There you
amen,
go.
praise the
There you
Lord.
There you go.
That's where you
You still a missionary.
That's
Still a
where you-
missionary.
Check me out on Sunday.
From
Yeah.
baptizing the baby.
Yeah, take them down and then
down.
ministry.
Still baptizing baby. There you go.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Evidence.
Yeah, that
Well,
part right there.
I don't have to worry about that component, what you saying, like because I'm one of those rare birds that's not even on social media. I just never joined it or anything like that. I feel I have a great nucleus of friends, and those people who I would like to contact, I know how to get in contact with them. And so I always kind of chuckle when people are like, I didn't see you on Facebook or this. First of all, I have a very unique name. So if you can't find me, then you didn't do that hard of a search. And I've been, working for the university for a very long time. And so, if you didn't fight for it, basically. You couldn't find
You didn't
it.
want it.
You didn't want it.
You didn't really want it.
You didn't search all over.
You didn't search all over.
Just search on. Didn't find nobody.
Couldn't find nobody. Couldn't find
You didn't
nobody.
search high.
You didn't search
high
high
and
and low. Still couldn't find nobody.
But from a college perspective, God bless y'all in that K through 12 space.
For real.
When I ultimately decided I was going to work in education, I knew that was my calling. I knew higher education was the life for me. And as I mentioned, I'm outside of the classroom, so I do data analysis, strategic planning, and everything. But for us, we have to be creative, right? There's apps in higher education where you can send students nudges to remind them if they haven't completed a homework assignment or if registration is coming. Oh yeah, things that we didn't have when we
I was
were going
about to say.
I'm like, what?
You
I
have
needed
to meet
all
them.
of those things in college.
You have to meet students where they are. Like, hey, welcome to the university. This is your academic advisor. This is how you contact them. The advisor can text them or send them an email. And so that's where we have to be creative in the curriculum space as well, in meeting them with online courses and modality and things like that. So in higher education, it's just so exciting that shift that's happened over the last several years to go just from the brick and mortar to have to embrace the online pedagogical tactics that are used. But in addition to that, we have just the way in which you deliver education. That's I'm sorry.
I'm gonna look it up
That's
later.
okay.
Keep going. I'm gonna look it up
we
later.
love it.
Keep going.
We're
The way in
educators,
which-
we're
Hey
born.
Siri, what is
We can-
pedagogical?
Hey Google,
Good. I like that.
spell pedagogic.
Look,
Siri,
you
what's
set that
pedagogical?
up. So wait a
Say,
minute.
oh, wait, we official.
Let me button my shirt up for she's.
But we have. But we meet
got
students
subtitles?
where they are with the apps and things like that from academic advising and even from a social wellness perspective. So students may like send in a chat if they need a counselor, an advisor, or something like that. So it's embracing and leveraging that technology that they're accustomed to. So I'm proud of the higher education space in doing that. So with you all, there's kind of it's not as much that you can do that, but you have to do it in higher ed because they're borderline adults for real.
Kind of.
No, I love that y'all have different ways of reaching them, but you did lose me at nudge them for an assignment.
Yeah. So what happens is like
I ain't gonna lie,
if you have
I just got a little jealous. Actually.
you
I was
feel me?
like,
So
I
it's
needed
if
that
you
all
think
my
about
life.
it, there's an online platform, a learning management system, where an instructor will teach, and have online assignments in there. So if a student does not complete their assignment, then the faculty can raise what's called an alert on this student. Hey, I'll use myself. Hey, Ray did not complete her assignment. And so then it will send that message out to the student as well as to their academic advisor, just so that you can know that, hey, someone is here for you if you need some help. Some students, they have challenges with finances, so maybe they haven't even purchased a textbook yet. So that allows an advisor to come down, sit down and talk with them. Well, we have book vouchers and we can help you and we're here for you. So it's really that support system, especially for students that move away from home. Even if you come in from, like you say, you're from Funky Town, even if you move and come down and but you're away from your parents. And so you need that support system. And so it just makes it easier to do it through an online mododality.
I'm still at book vouchers. Boy,
Yeah, you got
It's a new day. It's a new day.
It's a new day. And,
I went far
You
away
don't have
from
no reason not to succeed. I mean, see,
Like we would
somebody-
eat all this up, and when we were in school, like man.
yeah,
I just
it's
wish there were certain things in college I just wish somebody would have told me before I got there. Like, and my parents had went to college, but nobody sat down and was like, okay, nobody's gonna wake you up for that 8 o'clock class that you
Nobody.
decided to take. And you're not a morning person. Nobody said don't take a
Nobody.
class before 10. Nobody said, go when you don't get your financial aid, go find someone in the office to talk to. Go, they got, oh well, you missed an assignment? Is everything okay? Oh no. It was like
I mean, that's good.
zero.
Well, I mean, society
And then you
as
over
a
there
whole
in
has
college trying to ask for extra credits. Y'all got any extra credits? in there?
Scratching.
Can I go to the
Gotta
theater?
get some extra
Miss
credit.
Melanie gonna be at the theater. Can I go over there and get some extra
Can I
credit
go,
for that?
does she need help wiping down the seats or something? Can I get a little?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's awesome.
I mean, society as a whole has changed
That's
where
true.
you're more accepting and more nurturing. I'm Generation X, and I'm like you. I had a parent that went to college. My dad is a Vietnam veteran, so he had a different journey with his education. But with my mom, she went to college, but she went after she had children, and so her experience was different from me coming straight in out of high school. And so there were certain things where she wasn't in the social organizations and all of that. She's like, I got to get home to my babies. And she would bring us with her to college and things like that. So although she had that exposure, she had a different journey. And so that's where it's important to kind of just have peer mentors and things like that, especially now with the students that are coming in where, like you mentioned before about the likes and all of that kind of stuff. In college, no, you're not a rock star anymore in college, right? You may have run your high school, but now you're one of 8,000 people that are walking around, 9,000, depending on how large your college is. And so they still need to know they're accepted and they're wanted and they have, organizations for them to be able to connect to, because it takes the holistic approach to make them successful.
That's one thing that you said. I'm glad you made that statement, because that's one thing that I was telling my students, in the classroom. I'm like, y'all, when y'all go to college, when you go off to school, everybody's not in 11th grade. Everybody's not in 12th grade. Y'all not the same age. You may be with someone that's 40, 50, 70,
Very true.
80. You're going to have different, and they were just like, what, really? Wow, like they've never heard of it. It's like really? I'm like, yes. So, yeah, they're going to need help, because, when we went for, we were just like, okay, this is some things we had to figure out on our
Figure it
own,
out,
and some things we didn't know, and now I'm just like, they have it made. I would have, oh man, I would eat all this up.
Scholar.
Listen,
Dean's
The
list.
struggle
Dean's
so
list.
hard.
man, the struggle.
How have you seen, I guess in society, it seems to be like a shift in higher education now, where I think people are feeling like, oh, you may not need it to be successful. It's a hoax. It's gonna put you in debt, because I'm still paying back loans myself. That kind of thing. Like, so have you seen that
allegedly
affecting
still owe them
today's
some
student? Allegedly.
That is such a great question. And, when we were preparing for this, I was like, I need to bring like my documentation and my research binder, because I know a topic is going to come up about, college and debt. So to be clear, make no mistake about it, the higher educated you are, the more likely you are to be successful. When you look at the earning gap between one who has a college degree and one does not, that gap surpasses anything that may be in the gender earning difference or the racial, ethnic kind of earning power and things like that. That college degree and non-college degree, that gap is large. So being educated will always help you. Does it mean college debt? It could. One could, and there again goes back to what you were talking about, being aware of scholarships and grants that are aware. If you're not aware of that, you don't necessarily have to take out loans for all of your education.
Yeah, I took them all.
Yeah, and
single one of 'em.
because and there again it goes back to educating one, right? And
Correct.
so certain students that may go to particular colleges, they may have to use their loans to pay for living expenses, pay for housing, and all of that kind of stuff. So if you're in that kind of circumstance, then certainly it will impact you, but not so much so where it's not worth getting a college education. Entrepreneurship is real. Anybody can kind of blow up on YouTube and things like that. That is far and few between. That's not the mass of people that make up society. And so education is definitely something that is worth it, even with college debt.
I'm a proponent of it, and I'm definitely push as many of the youth that I can into it, but I also realize it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Whether they're mentally not, like you said, able to be on their own and away from mom and dad or whoever their support system was, it's not for everybody. So I think, especially in our community, showing them all the options. And I think that's where a lot of my generation, I'm a millennial, a lot of us kind of like felt duped a little bit. And I'm not even speaking for myself, because thankfully, thank God it worked out for me, but a lot of us felt duped because, I went to college, I did what I was supposed to do, I got good grades, I got out, I have all this debt. Because of this debt, I can't buy a house, I can't, I can't do all the things that the American dream promised me. So, it was kind of almost like a bait and switch. So that's why I'm telling the, look, we call a spade a spade. So if I have a nephew who's a knucklehead, hey man, let's get this CDL.
Yeah.
Let's go drive this truck.
That's where I'm at with it. Like I do believe that getting an education,
Absolutely.
especially university, is very important.
Absolutely.
But in knowing that it isn't for everybody, I feel like if you decide not to go that route, you do have to find a route.
Yes.
That's my
Yes.
thing. You do
Yeah.
have to find a route.
Gotta
It
find
has to be
something.
something.
And they told us it was college or nothing.
When I was growing up, it wasn't if you were going to college, it was what college were you going to.
Exactly.
It wasn't
Exactly.
are you going to go to trade school? Are you going to,
Yeah.
I wanted to do hair, and it was like, but what college are you going to?
Right, right.
Yeah, you could do that. That's cute. You could do that at home in your room or whatever the case may be. You could charge $5 or $10
On
for
the
this or that
side,
on
yeah.
the side. But at the end of the day, what college are you going to? And so I think that, for me, it was great. I did what I was supposed to do. I should have went to college, but for some people, it's just not the option for them. But at least there is an option, like there are trade schools. And I do believe, like a lot of the tech jobs right now, like you don't necessarily have to get a full 4-year degree, but there are certifications. There are, online courses that you could take. And certifications, I've heard, are really kind of the thing right now, because if you can get certified in something, you don't necessarily always have to go to college to get all the basics. If you can get certified in this one particular thing that you're interested in, it kind of gets you a little bit jump on things too. So there's options, but we didn't have those options. It was like, what college are you going to?
I recall filling out a card. I forgot what it was called, but we had to fill out a questionnaire in school, and then at the end it determined what your occupation is gonna. Yeah. And so I remember because I was torn between being a teacher and a nurse, but I chose education. But I went to be a physical therapist and a teacher and all that kind of stuff. And I just remember that. And then when we graduated, it was a choice of college or military. So that was the two options that they gave.
That's
Like,
true, military.
if you're going to go to the military, you're going to college, wherever you go, you got to go somewhere. And then it was like Bell Helicopter, GM Motors. Those were like the leading companies where people, if they didn't go to college, they can try to get a job there. But they were always pushing for you to make, as they say, good money. Make that good money. It wasn't like make money, but make that good money.
Good money. Good money.
And so those were the choices. I just remember that. So my thing is, like, I just received my master's last year.
Congratulations. Cool.
I'm doing this a lot. I'm wearing it. I gotta get a new dance. Okay. So, like now, like you see, I keep applying because I do want to teach higher education level, because I've done it before, but on the side, not really like, full time or what have you and stuff. So, like, how's the job? Like, when you graduated from college, like, how was the job looking? Was it spot on, or did you look? You know, because they tell. So you know what I'm saying. So it's like we're encouraging our students, because this is the challenge I face with my kids now. They into making TikTok videos because they feel like if I can get 1 million views, you know, like what's the person that's doing the cooking and stuff?
I don't know.
Miss Net, you know, Charles, you know, let's just, so, you know, I was on supposed to, we may need to cut that out. Okay, you know, but I'm just saying, but they have millions and millions and millions. So they have millions and millions and millions of, you know what I'm saying? And so now people are trying to mimic them. People are trying to do other things. So they feel like their money making, the good money is through social media. So it's like, forget intelligence, because I'm telling you, I have them write an essay and stuff or write a sentence. So many misspelled words.
Oh, yeah.
So many. So I'm like, how did you make it to the 12th grade and you can't spell music? Or you can't spell, you know.
Autocorrect.
Oh,
That's
man.
Autocorrect.
Voice
Autocorrect. Yeah, voice
And
to
the
text.
shorthand
Autocorrect.
text, yeah.
Shorthand text.
BRB and
I just
LOL.
got a
yeah.
text recently, and it was like, attention, 40 and up. People are using EVB
saw
for
that.
everybody.
I saw that.
I was
Yeah.
like, y'all can't spell everybody?
Yeah.
Like, I hate text when somebody texts me WYD. Like, what you doing?
Leave it on red.
No, I text them back with a whole bunch of letters, like, you know, SATH, and they be like, what? I'm like, sitting at the house. And I was like, if we talk, I said, you were talking in acronyms, I'm just following suit.
Right,
So,
right,
I mean, you know, and they get to trying to guess, da-da-da-da. I was like, no, in my room watching TV, you know, and it's like, EIMR, you know, they're like, I don't know that one. I'm like, well, if you're talking in acronyms, I could do this all day.
Yeah, we can do it all day.
Because if you can't type out, how are you?
Do you really mean it?
don't-
Do you really
we
want to know how am I?
How concerned are you?
But let's
You asked about the job market. Man, you know, I put my head down because I took a convoluted path. Like I said, I was in grad school, got my master's. I said, well, I'm gonna keep going to med school. Got to med school and was like, you know what? I don't think so. Right? And so I leave med school, and then I quickly realized, oh, it's nothing for me to do. Now, mind you, I have a bachelor's in biology, have a master's in public health, and a master's in science, and I can't find a job.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it was going back to the student loan thing. I have a student debt from 2 years of med school and all of that. And I'm like, okay, new wife, new baby, got to figure things out. That's when I started teaching, right? Got to figure something out. Still doing the applications in my field. Say all that to say, networking is key.
Oh, yeah.
Networking will take you, unfortunately, as far as education will in some situations. Because it wasn't until I met people, got my foot in the door, oh, okay, he's not crazy. But when you are a stack of papers, or now electronic stack of candidates, there's nothing, it's hard to stand out. And now they got AI writing the resumes and AI reading the resumes and all that kind of thing. So it's sometimes even hard to get the foot in the door. So for me, once I finally met somebody that, you know, oh, okay, yeah, let me give you a shot, let me give you a chance, whatever. That's when things kind of took off for me. But it was a long road. And that road had a lot of,
That's one of those things too. It's like, well, you're going to college. Now you got to figure out, well, what are you going for? Because what you're going for.
and it's hard to ask somebody at 18 years old.
And at 18 years
You
old,
don't know.
I never thought I would have been a teacher. And I did the little thing, and it said I should be a teacher. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't think a teacher was going to be what I wanted to be. And then when it came time to it and I was looking for a job, I was like, well, if anything else, I'll just be a teacher, you know, because that everybody
we could get it. Everybody's degree.
No, everybody can't be a teacher.
Well, you know, I'm talking about everybody
I'm
get
proof
the
of that.
job.
But everybody can
get the job, but not be a
I was like,
teacher.
oh, that's what I'll do. And then even in doing that, I was like, I don't know how long I'll be doing it. And here I am 15 years later,
Wow.
I'm still a teacher.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I'm
And that's-
like, Lord.
That is where the call for the change in higher education has to come into play. So even if someone comes, you know, to college, then we have a responsibility to make sure that student is successful. Now, success may not mean a college degree. So what we have to do is start offering students internships, externships, work study in areas that they're interested in, so that they could actually get a feel for it. There's no reason someone should graduate before they actually perform the job that they're trying to do in some capacity.
I think that's
and
on
so
the-
we have to change.
I think
in
that's
higher
on the
education.
industry also, though, because I can't tell you how many jobs I applied for, again, with all these credentials, educational credentials,
Yeah.
and they tell me I don't have no experience. Well, I know that. That's why I'm applying. Like,
Yeah,
get
I'm
the-
talking
I'm trying to get the experience.
what
I'm
you're
talking
trying to
about
do.
building
They
it
can
into
make
the
sense.
curriculum.
Yeah.
You know
Right,
what I mean?
exactly.
Into the curriculum in
Exactly.
college, where when a student is a sophomore,
Right.
they are placed with an internship, because higher education, we have connections with those. We have alumni and, all their industry partners that donate to the university. So we have to say, we want you to take our students, and how do our students compare with other students? Is there something that we're missing at our institution that we can improve? That
Right.
is where higher education in general has to change to make those connections for you, because you might get a degree at 22. You don't really know that many people. You know what I mean? But you shouldn't have to fight that battle alone. That's where higher education, or even more so partnering with K through 12, to be able to kind of network in that capacity to put students on the right track so they can find out earlier.
Doggone
Right.
it, Ray for president.
I'm saying,
We're
got my
done
vote,
here.
right?
And-
Got my vote.
yes, yes.
Call the Calvary.
At least Secretary of Education, something.
Listen,
Something
something.
important, because
Something.
that's
Because
some
you
good
know,
stuff.
that's one, like, yeah.
That's really good. I mean, like, for my school, it's a private school, but we're right next to the University of St. Thomas, and they do invite the students who are like in education to come over and to actually shadow different, components for a day or two. And we actually have one of the University of St. Thomas students who teaches one of our PE classes part-time, because the majority of us are coaching, and there's nobody to teach the few kids that are just doing PE. They're not playing a sport at the time. And she comes over and she teaches that, and I think that's really awesome, because she'll really understand if this is something she really wants to do by the time it's all said and done, or if she needs to figure out a different plan, because she's had that real life experience to be able to say, like, no, I've done this. I know what this is. I know what I'm getting into. And that would be very important. So Ray for president, just
Yes. It's not about what you know, but who you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the little people.
I shall
Don't
not.
forget about us.
You'll be in the cabinet.
She'd be like,
There you go.
little peasant. Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Do I know you?
I don't know you.
Roll the window up. It's right. But yeah, that's important. Education is important. I'm all for it. So yeah. So where are you teaching now? Are you at university?
Oh no, I
still
left.
applying?
Oh no.
So you done with
I
teaching,
did my
period.
time. I told you, my hat
said
is
you
off.
did his time.
My hat is
Okay.
off. I did my time. I'm the wellness program director for a large employer in the city.
Okay.
I can't say who because we ain't clear that with the. Ain't try to get me in trouble. But no.
Oh no, we don't want to get you in trouble.
No, absolutely not. But no, and so what I do is design health and wellness programs for the employees of this organization.
Oh, nice.
And there are 30,000 of them. So myself, I lead the team. The team goes out and we do everything from coaching to make sure they're getting their doctor's appointments, physicals, vaccinations for them and their families. So we got over 20,000 employees, plus 10,000 retirees, plus all of their families. So we're busy. We're busy.
Kudos to you, because that's a lot too.
That is. Well, if you ever need entertainment like ministry, praise dance, music, praise team, even motivate them.
Coordinate it all.
Coordinate it all.
Right, we
you know.
laughing, but one of my things is big and it's been really successful is addressing all the dimensions of wellness, right? So if you would Google dimensions of wellness, you'll see everything from 6 to 40, right? But we recognize about 6 or 7 of them, and having programs and resources inside of each dimension, right? And it's the organization that I work for has a very diverse population, right? So social wellness to you may not look like social wellness to my brother or sister who don't share our cultural background, right? So finding something that matches with everybody. So yeah, we do stuff with music. We do, and it helps that I'm a musician as well. So we do stuff with music. We do stuff kind of out of the box. If we have a cooking class, one day we may be talking about how to cook a certain cultural cuisine, and then the next something totally different, because we got to capture a lot of different populations. So it works out. It's never 2 days are never the same, but we're doing some good work. So.
Awesome.
I like that. That is very awesome.
Awesome. Did we ever say our names or something? We just started talking. I don't recall. Did I say my
I
name?
think they were going to fix it in post. In post.
Ah,
Ooh,
okay.
that's fancy. Yeah, that's
you know about that
production
Yeah, I
word.
just
Production word. They'll fix it in post.
I just felt like a preacher that started preaching without giving my text. Let's get straight to it. We
Give the title of the
didn't give no-
Nothing,
You
nothing.
figure it out. You figure out what I'm talking about.
So yeah, I have a question. So in like all of the things that everybody does, like we're all busy, we all have just all this extra things that we do. So in addition to us like maybe working through church and volunteering at church, we have full jobs and things like that. What is your biggest like relaxation thing that you do that's just for you?
I was like, I have mine off the bat. I thought you were going to say music. I knew it. I still love it.
I'm always doing music, but it's fun for me because I love doing shows.
Right.
I love doing shows, sitting in the pit, music director, conductor, and all that kind of stuff. But really, because of the busyness of my schedule, just sitting home chilling, reading a book or listening to music. Because I don't really, people say, I heard on the radio, did you hear it? I say, I don't listen to the radio because I'm constantly learning songs, church songs, stuff for my students, or if I have a gig coming up, or a party or something I have to do, or a ministry opportunity. So it's basically doing that or writing songs. And I'm happy to say they just finished doing Emancipation at the Wortham Theater, and they included my original song, Shine.
Hey.
So we just found out 3 weeks ago that Hobby Center is going to produce it next year.
Kudos. All right.
Thank you.
better.
So
Come on
I'm
now.
just writing
Come on.
away. I'm writing
Love it.
away.
I love
So
it.
they're going to add more music to it. So it will be booked. And so if anybody wants to, perform that show, my song, I get to say.
Well, I'm coming. So
Come
I'm gonna be
on. We had a nice crowd that came. It was like we opened it up to present it. And then we didn't know the team from the Hobby Center was there. They were, because we now, in the Broadway world, in the industry now, they're looking for more black artists to write. They're looking for original work. So the lady that I work with that is the director, she's been on Broadway. She's done directing for a lot of, in fact, she's in New York now getting ready to do Once on This Island. And so she asked me, she sat down, we were in the dressing room, she said, Melanie, what is it you want to do? What is your, I said, girl, go to Broadway and be a musical director on Broadway. And she said, I don't see why you couldn't, because she didn't even know half the stuff that I've done. She said, I didn't know you did that, you did this, you did that. I said, yeah, I just, me, I'm just working, moving and stuff. And she's like, okay, Mel, just don't be surprised if I call you. Don't be surprised if we call you, because I really enjoy. And that's another thing. Just sidebar, it's like how, y'all are some wonderful, pleasant people to talk to. I know them because we're in church and just now meeting you. It's about your personality.
Yeah.
It's about who you are. Because her stats, Miss Ray for president.
I'm telling you.
She's so
I'm
down to
sold.
earth and
I'm
chilling. This young lady's dynamic with her dancing, choreography, and everything. But we just down to earth. We just want to serve. So I think with the humble attitude that we carry and everything, it's just that was just my sidebar. It's just the approach. So I'm just grateful to God for the doors. So to answer your question, music and chilling and going and staying home. If I can just go home and chill, that's what I do.
That is so funny. That is me all day long. I'm always busy, always doing something. We have dance practice twice a week. I don't get home until after 9, sometimes 10. Or if I have a game, I'm not getting home until 8:39. So all throughout the day, and have to be at work at 7:30. I'm not a morning person. You fight all these things throughout the day. So if there's an opportunity for me to do something, I will literally just sit on the couch in my t-shirt and my underwear watching. I might not even watch TV. I will just sit there. And maybe just scroll my phone. I don't know a lot of the TV shows because I don't like getting caught up into a show because I don't have time to watch it.
Right.
So I'm not going to get myself all anxious about I missed it No, and I will just sit there, and I have a friend, she works in radio, and so for her, it's the same thing. She's always out doing stuff, and she will come over, and we will literally sit on the couch, and we may talk for a little bit and just be sitting there. And I was like, these are the best times ever. But for me, just pulling away from all of it and just disconnecting from everything, that's my relaxation. And it don't have anything to do with everything that I do all throughout the day.
Because we're constantly busy.
Right.
Because a lot of people are like, you know, do you go out? Do you do this? I'm like, no. I mean, if I can stay home, that is my biggest joy because I'm always out. I always have to do functions, social things, and it's not really work because I enjoy meeting people, like you said, networking, you know, with different ones, and you know, they'll remember, you know, the curly afro hair, whatever, and then, you know, like you said, go home, chill. Just because a lot of people that I work with at school, they go to work and go home. So they don't do like what we do.
They don't have
You
the
know, we're
extra.
staying after school, we're doing after school practice, you're coaching, or we have a game, or we have, and then I come to church, you know, Tuesday rehearsal, Thursday rehearsal, you know, Bible study on Wednesday night. You know, we get home, it's like 9:30, and then when we wind down, it takes me, and I'm the one who sits in my garage for 30 minutes before I get out.
And just
In the car, just sitting there.
I wish I could do that.
Oh, wow.
I sit in my car, not
Your
the car
kids will
running.
come and get
you.
Right.
Yeah, your kids come down.
I see that door open.
on the window.
What you do?
Your wife, you all right?
Right. Get that text. You good? Right.
Like,
So what do you do, Sean?
I'm being real. I'm still searching.
Okay.
And there was a time in my life I would have been able to answer that question very easily. It was music. It was always music. I'm the type, I sit on the keys by myself, put the earphones on. Like I ain't even turn on the amp. Put the earphones on, and I can play to myself for hours. Right.
Wow.
Now, as soon as I get the earphones on, here, oh, okay. Well, baby girl want to play too. So okay, let's let her play. And she, you know. So it's being a young father, being a professional, being, you know, a worker and a server in the church. I'm still looking for that new thing that I can find relaxation. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired. I'm tired. You work a 40-hour week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spend 2 hours a day in traffic. As soon as I get home, I gotta help with homework and cook dinners and, you know, be a dad. By the time they done getting dad, it's 9:30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, I need to go to sleep. Oh, but I still gotta do all this stuff for me. So it's a constant like balancing act, right? And so I haven't found that one thing. I have pockets of things, right? So yeah, music still works. Like you said, try to sit in the car and at least hear the end of the song, you know? Okay, here come my part. They knocking on the windows, go away. Here come my part. You know, but pockets of things, you know. I still play video games. Yes, I'm a grown man. I throw on Madden.
I still play video
games. Yeah, you know, some people.
Nothing wrong with
yeah,
that.
I throw on Madden, you know, for an hour. But again, same thing. Daddy, which team are you? Okay, come on, you can play too. So it's finding that balance, but haven't quite got there yet. So I'm open to suggestions.
Well, when I'm home and the sun is still up, I thoroughly enjoy working in my yard. I find it very relaxing, very peaceful. I maintain my own lawn, you know, the cutting, edging, and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I thoroughly enjoy. But a lot of times I get home and the sun is gone, so I'm like, oh, well, missed that. So don't judge me, but I really do. I'll come home and I'll turn on, you know, the music in the house and everything, and I will just kind of reflect and think on my day and what I want to plan for the next day. Because I love my job and I'm passionate about what I do, but I'm always thinking about how I can do it better, you know, and even walking around my house, you know, my house is pretty organized, but I'm like, well, how can I organize that better? And so for some people, they're like, you never turn it off, but for me, I enjoy that. I enjoy if I'm having a conversation or I can talk to a student and say, I know how to help you, but I know how to help you because I took time to reflect and pause and kind of think about that. Because a lot of times during the day, I'm in meetings, and so when you lead a team and then you go to meetings, your day wraps up at work like maybe 4:30. So then it's like, well, I still have things I was supposed to do. So you might work a little late, but I go home and still take time to kind of reflect and think about things afresh and anew. And that really is relaxing for me. So I enjoy that.
She got my vote. I'm trying to tell you.
Listen, she is.
Look, she got my vote.
Man, this has been awesome. This is great talking and
It's been
everything.
great talking to you guys, but I'd really love to just one last word
Please
from
stop,
the president.
Lane. Stop.
One last word. One last
Parting
word.
words from Madam President.
Madam President.
Madam
yes,
President.
Absolutely.
This really has been fun. This has been
Yeah,
great.
it's been cool. Been
Absolutely.
great. All right.
Lovely meeting all of you all.
Yes,
Amazing
lovely
as well.
meeting you.
So what church do you go to, Sean?
I go to Fondren SDA,
Okay.
right around the corner from where we are. But yeah,
Is Kelvin over there playing?
he was. He recently left. But yeah,
Okay.
that's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, it's good for me.
Absolutely.
When I was over the AME churches,
Yeah.
so I used Kelvin.
Awesome musician.
Yes,
Awesome
he
musician.
is. Yes. And we're at the Fountain of Praise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over there for the king.
For the king.
Yay.
For the king.
Ray always have us talking about for the king. Just remember when you get frustrated, it's for the king.
For the king.
For the
It's
king.
always
For the king.
Always.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. All right then, y'all. I guess we can go over Clinton's house. I think he has
I think we've been given the notice
The signal.
and the plane.
The signal. Yeah.
Signal to land the plane. The plane
Okay.
landed, you know.
thank y'all. Y'all been a great audience tonight. Thank you
y'all
so much.
for
Appreciate it.
Thank you for traveling open airways. You know,
Thank you,
just
thank
the
you.
vessel. You know.
This program has been invited by
Close captioning. Right.